Can I ask you something really quick?
Go ahead.
You know, all this back and forth, jumping across the border. How does a guy like Danny or you, how do you do that and not get flagged by customs for you know what I mean? Like that's got to paint a target on you if somebody's going back and forth so much across the border.
You would
does
think,
it not?
You would think, right?
Yeah. Does Danny have American citizenship?
No. No, he doesn't. His brother has American citizenship.
And do you guys enter mostly on land, or do you take private planes?
Danny never comes across. I'm the one going back and forth across.
So Danny actually does all this while he's in Mexico.
While he's in Mexico.
Okay. And just coordinates it through the phone.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
Exactly. As I go on, it kind of makes sense. But anyway, there's always a long ass line across.
Yeah.
So we're in a cab and we're waiting. The next thing I know, come beating on the damn window in the cab. We look, it's Danny. Come on, get out, come with me, get out. We're like, what's going on? This guy's ready, come on. And he's running, he's in between the cars, running back down. So we got to pull our suitcases out and we running in between these damn cars down this damn bridge, pulling out suitcases. And he didn't stop in the middle of the street with the doors open. We jump in with him.
Oh my God.
And he speeds off. He goes into the Burger King, pulls there, and he's sweating. And he's freaking out. He kind of making me nervous. I'm like, what's going on? Nothing's wrong, my friend. Nothing's wrong. He's looking around. Next thing I know, these big ass trucks just speed up in the damn the Burger King parking lot. And I'm like, whoa, what the f is this? He said, come on, my friend, we gotta go. And he gets out, slams the door, and runs toward the truck. So I get out, I'm coming. And then I look back for my guy, Big Eye. He ain't got out the damn vehicle. I'm like, man, come on. He's like, man, I'm like, man, come on. So I had to go back, snatch him out the car.
Yeah.
We go back toward the car. The big truck we're getting in. Danny gets in the front seat. They putting us in the back. But he noticing as he get in, the door is super heavy. So I'm much smaller than him. I get in. So we get in. It's a guy sitting in between us. Two guys in the front. Danny sitting in the middle. But they got like shotguns mounted in the middle.
Wow.
Automatic weapons mounted on the roof. And it's like, what the? So we pulling off. They tell Danny something to tell us. And what Danny said, sorry, my friends. These guys need you to put these bags over your head.
Like the movies.
I'm like, we here.
You got to
put it on. He's giving them problems. I mean, put the bag. We in here now. Ain't nothing you could. So we put the bag over his head. So, okay. And one other thing, my friends, I need you to lead your head forward. He grabbed the back of our heads and leaned our heads forward on the, I'm like, this start crying. And he mumbling and shit like that. So they drive and all I'm hearing is choop, choop, choop. The chirp's going on. Well, you look like what you get.
Don't you understand you're going to meet the Connect? You're not getting kidnapped? Doesn't Danny communicate this?
No.
How stupid are people in this business?
No.
Like, it drives me nuts.
Yeah. But he didn't tell us nothing. We don't know.
Right.
But I trust him because we didn't did enough that I got an idea. But this guy don't know. He think we about to get whacked.
Yeah.
So the chirping's going on. Then the phones go silent. And then he's making so much noise. They start talking. And then they say, what's wrong with your friend? And I said, he's praying. They're like, oh, you heard us. It's like, oh. Yeah. They kept driving. And so then the phone started going off again. It was like some type of Morse code because they wasn't saying nothing.
Right.
And then I know we got into a neighborhood because you start going over speed bumps. And then the phone started going off more. And we pulled in somewhere like a garage or something. The doors fly open. They snatch the bags off. Go this way. Everybody yelling. So I'm like, what the? So we going in, we step out. It's like 2 or 3 steps there. Go this way. Everybody yelling. There's guys in the hallways with automatic weapons and all this shit, right? So we go in, and then they're like, you sit here. So they pointed for me to sit over to the right on this one couch. Pointed for I to sit over in this other single chair. And Danny went and sat on a couch next to this mysterious man sitting in the corner with the lights down. And then there's guys back over here behind us. Everybody with weapons. There's another guy that I'll call Baldhead later that's standing there. He's going to translate for the chief The chief is Mario Nunez Mesa. Danny's going to translate for me.
Right.
So the conversation start. Okay, well, I'm here. What's going on? Danny starts to talk. And then he just starts to disregard Danny. He's sitting in the corner over here. Danny's sitting. I mean, if that damn arm on that couch wasn't there, Danny would keep scooting over because it got to the point where Danny started moving around the arm and on that little small part of the couch, moving away from the chief. So the chief's sitting there, but the chief got a nickel-plated 45 sitting right in his lap. I can't really see him that good. So we started to talk. And he said, okay, well, what can I do for you? I started telling him what I was interested in. And he just totally stopped talking to Danny.
What did you tell him?
I told him that I needed volume.
Uh-huh.
He asked me what was I doing. I told him I was doing anywhere between 75 to 100 keys a week.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay. He's like, are you working with somebody else? I said, yes. He said, okay. What are you paying? And I told him I was paying 16. He was like, okay. And then this guy over here.
And that's a lie. Because you were paying 17 with the point from Danny.
Whose side are you on, Johnny?
Yeah, the truth. I'm on the Lord's side.
Yeah, I know that's right. I'm trying to work my hand here.
Yeah,
you know
I love it. I love the balls.
So the guy in the back here starts to yell, saying something to the chief, right? Because he's the one translating as well.
Mm-hmm.
So Danny translates for me. He translates for the chief. So the chief says, okay, well, what if I sent you 150 a week? I said, oh, okay. I said, but you probably will try to be sending me. I said, you would probably want to send me that much so I can't work with these other guys. Then I see the darkness start to light up, see his teeth. Somebody turned the light up. He linked up, gave a dirty look, grabbed something, and turned the light back down and leaned back into the darkness again.
Right.
So I'm like, well, I still want to continue to work with them, but I can still handle that with you as well. He's like, okay, well, what if I send you 200 a week? I said, okay, well, at what price? He said 17. I said, no, 17 is too high. This guy's having a conniption fit over here.
Mm-hmm.
He's having a fit because he's going to make something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going back and forth. We're going back and forth over the prices, and we eventually settled at 16. He's jumping up and down. He's mad. And then he starts to discuss the logistics with him.
Right.
Well, because he's would handle it, getting it up there. I can only bring it to Ohio. I'm like, I can't have no way to get it from Ohio. Well, I'm sorry, my friend. You have to you're in the big league now. You basically have to grow up and all this,
Mm-hmm.
But Chief is there listening. I'm going back and forth with him. And then I stopped talking to him and I started talking to Chief.
Yeah.
I say, please, I guarantee you, if you get this to me, I'll be able to move all of it. You're not going to have no problems. And he's having a conniption fit.
Uh-huh.
And Danny's translating for me now to the Chief.
Right.
The Chief is listening. He turns the light up. He said, we'll get it to you. This mother is hot.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you one part. As we're negotiating, he's coming down on the price. And I did some old creepy. I was like, I did some like this. I say, so you starting to make me feel like I'm the pretty girl at the dance now. He started laughing. These guys go, they're laughing. They probably said some shit like you should fuck him or something because I'm not knowing how they really are over here. But we come to an agreement, and he said we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it to you. We're gonna get it. He's gonna get it all the way to you.
So now your price came down. You get more of it, and you don't have to worry about moving any of it. They just deliver it straight to your door.
They're bringing it all to me to stop dealing with the other guys.
Right.
And he asked me what would I do if they don't want to go away. I gave him an answer, which is not politically correct, but I gave him the answer to that. But he was like, okay, And now what happened, Danny was only asking for 50. The reason why he stopped talking to Danny, because he kept going up on the amount that he's going to send. Danny's scared because this guy ends up becoming the butcher of Durango that killed over 350 people in Durango and buried them in mass graves. So he's already a killer. I don't know this.
The Chief.
Yeah.
Wow.
But Danny knows it. So Danny is scared because Danny, I can I can negotiate 50, but you didn't get to 150, not 200. He damn near about to fall off the edge of the couch. But Chief is not talking to him no more at all.
And what are the payment methods that are worked out? What are the payment
agreement
arrangements?
that we worked on was that he would give me 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And
you wouldn't put any cash down?
No.
Wow.
No. And with him, I didn't even have to pay for the driver.
Wow.
Didn't have to pay for nothing. He took care of everything.
Now, so Danny, how does that work? That must put Danny's life in danger because he's a broker that connected you with the first plug. These guys in Juarez, who I don't even know what organization were they working with?
Let me finish up. Come find out, they're working in Juarez, but Juarez owns the plaza.
Right.
So they have to pay to work. So anything they move through there, they have to pay.
Right.
So when we came to the agreement, Danny told Chief his problem with these guys. And Chief said, okay. He told one of his guys to go over to their office and tell them guys that Danny works with him now.
Yeah.
That was the end of that.
What are you going to do about it? I got 300 bodies on me.
Danny ripped them off for $350,000.
Right.
And what can they do?
Wow. Wow.
So that's why Danny told me, like, don't feel sorry for me. Feel sorry for them. Because they pulled the bull on them and there was nothing they could do.
And this is proof, like, did that make you see that the connects need you almost as much, or if not more, than you need them?
That helped me see that. And that helped me see that the loyalty was just bull.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was supposed to get some of that $350,000. He offered me some, but I didn't take it because going with hood folklore, deal with what's on your desk, stay loyal, don't worry what's on it, and not knowing that that's just business.
Right.
He made that money off of me. I was entitled to some of that money.
Right.
And I told him no. He looked at me crazy, and the guy in the front was like, "What's wrong with you?"
Mm-hmm.
So he just made off with that when he made it off of me.
Right. So then now that he's got 350 G's and you've got the new connect, do you still have to keep paying Danny?
Well, what happened
dealing with the
is
chief?
Danny is in on that.
Okay.
He still gets something off of that price.
Okay.
That's why this guy over here was so upset.
Right.
Because what he would normally get, he doesn't get now.
Right.
And he hearing the volume of work that's going to be moved.
Yeah.
So he's plotting against me. He's hoping I fail and everything.
I see.
You know, but Danny pulls some more bull later on, which we'll get to.
All right. So now you got 200 joints a week at 16,000 a piece.
But this first was a test.
Okay.
So to get it to me, he gave me 3 weeks. Right?
Do you know how they're moving it across?
At this time, well, this what he did. He dates. I don't know how they. Well, I know how they did it. It was on a flatbed, and this flatbed that came, they moved like big, like construction tractors on it.
Yeah.
You know, the whatever them things are that move gravel and all that.
Yeah. Backhoes.
Exactly. Now the part that goes to the fifth wheel, somehow they had a compartment in there that they put the keys in.
Wow.
So the first load that came. That's how it came. We had a spot for them to back in, and they started pulling the keys out. I was there. And my guys, the dude pulling the keys out, handed it to my guys, and they counted. I'm on the phone with them over there.
Yeah.
And they're telling me to make sure I count everything, because once I say it's cool, I owe.
Right.
This hands over 198 keys. And then when my guy Sam say, this is not it. No, my friend, it's everything. Hold on, let me look. Start beating the inside. Oh, no, that's it. He said, it's not everything. He said, listen, I'm telling you, my friend, it's everything. And da-da-da-da. So he gets on the chirp and he start, because they used to lying on us. And what scares him is when my phone go off. I'm not saying nothing. My phone go off, then he hear a Mexican voice come across to me. His eyes get big. And he immediately turns back around. Oh, my friend, I found him.
Right. Because he sees you're talking to the connect.
He know I'm talking.
Yeah.
So he gets scared and he goes and pulls him. Oh, no, I found him.
Wow.
And I say, okay, everything's fine.
Yeah.
So we get it. And, man, we did those. We did like 150. And like it wasn't even a week.
Wow. Between how many guys? How many guys are picking up from you?
My rule of thumb is I only have 3 guys with me. And my guys are force multipliers. So they may have a team of whatever.
Right.
But there's only 3 that deal directly with me. So if something, it's easy for me to tell where a problem's coming from. So what I would do is, okay, my guys at this point, I'm only giving them, let's say 25 apiece.
Mm-hmm.
You got 25 apiece. Once you finish your 25, you have full access to the rest. So now they busting their ass, moving it. So whoever finishes first have access to the rest of the 125 keys, while these other stuck on the 25.
So you're motivating them to work faster.
Exactly.
Wow.
And so
are they paying cash? Do they have to pay COD with you?
No.
Or you give it to them on the front as well?
You give it to them on the front.
Okay, so these
and
are
I'm
guys
giving them a good price too. But
these must be guys that you've worked with.
Yeah, that's my team. Yeah, I know them, and I know they're gonna. But see, this is what you learn when you start dealing with volume. You don't get as many crooks.
Right. No, of course not.
Because these people want somewhere they can spend their money. They don't have to worry about bringing a gun.
Yeah.
And they're going to get good work. They ain't got to worry about, so you don't have that problem.
No.
So when you dealing with volumes like this, you don't have problems. And my guys, I told them, if you got to deal with anybody where you got to take a gun or they bring it, we don't deal with them.
Right.
At a certain time at night, going back to Marlo, we stop working.
Yep.
And so these are the rules that I put down. So these guys, they happy they can come bring 300,000-400,000 you and they ain't got to worry about being robbed.
Right.
And if they call you and say something wrong, you're going to pick up the phone. You're not going to say, oh man, that's your problem and all that peasant type. You know what I'm saying? So it was never a problem.
It's just high level professional drug dealing.
All day.
I love
all
it.
Day. Was no gun toting, it wasn't necessary.
There never is at that level.
No, it's not. It's not. And that's what it'd be hard for people to understand. So I called. They sent the truck up, come pick the money up, but and he told me, listen, from now on, I understand you were a little nervous because it's more, but from now on, you have to complete the ticket.
What does that mean?
Meaning that if I send you 200, you have to pay the full amount for the 200. You can't just pay me 150. No, they're going to still give it to me on front. But when I pay for it, I was only paying him for 150 of them because I'm nervous. I see the way these guys got all these damn guns. I don't want, if I owe, I'd rather owe for the 50 Danny was talking about than the 100 and, what I'm saying? So he told me, but it's fine, it's cool. But from now on, just complete everything.
So
but what happened?
200 bricks, I'm sorry. So that's how many? How much is that? How much cash is that?
Man, listen, I'm the worst when it comes to that. That's Sam always multiplies fast.
So Sam is your partner.
Sam is my partner. When I'm over negotiating, he can calculate fast. He can do all that there. And,
How does the money, how are they moving the money back to Mexico?
At this time, it was old style, meaning that, bricks of money. Okay, you have your one brick is $1,000 increments, 5,000. And then when you ship it, it has to be in $25,000 bricks. Right. So you take the 5 of the $5,000 bricks, you wrap it in tape or whatever. And what I'm saying? You send it like that. That's how it's going at that time. Right. But it changes a couple of times. And it changes again when I get to Sinaloa because it starts going directly to a bank at that point.
Okay. But for now, and that's $3.2 million. That's the re-up money.
Yeah.
So are they sending it back in passenger cars or are they also putting it in heavy machinery like they sent the work up?
Yeah. Here's the thing. When the drugs are coming in, once they come up off the freeway, I'm responsible. So when it's in the truck being delivered to me, when it come off the freeway, I'm responsible until he gets back on the freeway. Mm-hmm. Same thing with the money. When they come to get the money, wherever they come, because they're coming where I tell them to come, I'm responsible. So that money has to get into the truck. Money has to get into the truck, and we have to make sure he get down on the freeway without no issue. Mm-hmm. Once he gets on the freeway, it's no longer my responsibility.
Is it a semi-truck?
It's a semi-truck.
Okay, gotcha.
Sorry about that. It's a semi-truck. And it's pretty much the same thing, the fifth wheel. They put it in the money in there like that. Now, sometimes the driver adjusts because it's like, I think a big suitcase would hold like 1.2 million, a big suitcase. Mm-hmm. And your smaller suitcase, like your carry-on, if it's large, you probably put about like 500,000 in there if it's all large.
Yeah.
So we'll give him like 3 suitcases and it'll be heavy. So a lot of time he'll just put it on the inside. And when he get wherever he's going to go, he'll put it wherever it's going to go.
Right. He's already got that figured out.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about your operation really quick in Detroit. How are you keeping yourself safe? Like, this is a huge level of responsibility, 200 keys. So you've got Sam. Do you have are you using all the real estate that you were buying from your weed money as like the stashes, or how are you operating security?
Stayed away from at this point, I stayed away from my real estate because the real estate is in my company name and anything of it is right. It's easy.
Yeah.
So what I started to do, in Detroit, we use women a lot. I mean,
sure.
Those
are some down ass bitches.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, Queens.
Take care of their bills, make sure they're riding good, and they get a house for you and they don't come back no more.
Right.
And they mind their own business type thing.
Right.
So, but in most cases, let's say when the bricks come in, that my thing switched to where everybody got like 50 as it started to come in. You get 50. Let's say 200 come in at this point. You get 50. There's only 50 left.
Right.
3 guys get 50. There's only 50 left. So there's nothing left.
Right.
You have the majority of it that's out there.
Right. Right.
So, and then it got to the point that guys started to save their money because we're giving them really good prices.
Right.
They wouldn't work if we wasn't working.
Right.
Because then when they get it, then you get like 2 or 3 days before it even hit the street. Because they're gonna get it. They got the recompressors. They're gonna take stuff out, recompress, rewrap, put the fake balloons on it, and all. Everybody think they're getting it. Man, I got them for you, fresh out the water.
Wow.
Some shit like that.
Wow, that was the trick.
It was a trick.
Wow,
it was a trick.
So your guys were breaking them. Say you give a guy on one of your guys 50 keys. He's compressing and stretching that to.
My guys could not touch nothing.
Okay.
The way you got it is the way it went out. Wow. That's why they love me. So, and I told my guys, just follow the formula.
Yeah. Because
you're making 1,000, 2,000
just handing it off
within a matter of hours.
Right. So don't get greedy. This is the best product at the lowest price. There's no need to step on it.
There's no need to There's no need to touch it.
Right.
Put it out there in the street because I need those guys out there to get money.
Yeah.
Why I need them to get money? Because they're going to start flashing. They're going to ride the cars. They're going to have the big chains on. And guess what? It gives it's just unfortunate, but it's business. It gives the DEA and all them plenty to investigate.
Right.
And not investigating us.
That's right.
Because the work is out, 2 or 3 window. We're done. It's paid for. We probably went over to Baltimore, down Atlanta. We're out the way.
Right. And your guys, your 3 guys in Detroit, they must have out-of-towners coming in. They must have people coming from...
What starts to happen when you have that type of volume and those prices, you eventually get people coming in. Because what happens to me as I started to move on, people in Chicago started to call down to Mexico saying that there's somebody in Detroit, that has the work a lot cheaper than us. And our people are starting to go to them and they have the same stuff.
Wow. So at this time, it would have been the Flores twins were the biggest dope dealers out of Chicago.
When that started to happen, the Flores twins, I believe, were gone. So I don't know. I think they turned themselves in or they got brought in like 2008.
Okay.
Or somewhere in there.
Okay.
And at that time.
Meech is gone too.
Yeah, Meech is gone.
So you're it kind of.
Yeah. It's
open, kind of the man.
It's an open market for me. Now, in Chicago, they still had some heavy hitters up there. It's just they wasn't getting the numbers that I was getting. I understand. I haven't went to Sinaloa yet.
Right.
Well, my chief hasn't went to Sinaloa yet.
Okay.
We're still with Juarez.
Right.
So when I get the complaints that's going over there, I'm tapped in now. Everything that happens, I hear about. That's how I heard about that. Because the guys now, if somebody coming to Michigan getting the bricks cheaper than them, and Chicago's a hub, but it's a different stamp on it, or as they say, a different T-shirt, they're not going to say too much. But what started happening, the reason why they complained, because they were coming in Detroit, coming back with the same bricks that they had on the same stamp on a T-shirt.
Right.
They're like, how do you guys, if we're the main hub and we're taking care of all the states around, how the hell is all our people going to Detroit getting cheaper work there? And it's the same.
And why is that? Because you can move it faster.
Well,
that's just how it goes.
What I figured out that, and they remember I told you about the middleman playing the game,
right?
Holding the world. Oh, it's too high. It's too.
They had middleman.
They started using me as a pace car to keep them honest.
Oh, like, hey, he's getting him for 16, so we should get him for 16.
Yeah. Well, what they would do, like I said, just to make sure I understand what you're saying, they may get it at a higher price, or they may get it at the same price, but they're selling it way more. And it's causing it to move at a certain pace, but I'm tearing ass. I'm shooting the lights out in the gym. So the people are coming over to me. But eventually they start giving me cheaper prices than them because they know I'm going to sell it fast and get them the money back. So what happens with me is all the money I'm turning in is they're using that to pay the politicians.
Right.
These guys are dragging their ass. So what they start doing to them is the same thing that Frank did with the guy that was on the west side. They take the work from them and send it to me.
Wow.
And make them be honest.
So it's like they're offering incentives as well. The cartels are offering their distributors incentives.
Yeah, they basically supplement it.
Right. I'll cut you off if it's moving too slow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, it's moving slow. Okay, you still got it. Okay, take this over here, and it ends up coming to me.
Wow.
And I move it like that.
Did you ever get the price lower when you were working with Chief?
This is what I found out, that the marijuana basically pays for the transport of the cocaine. That's what the money from the marijuana is used for, because all the farmers grow that. But with the cocaine, you can only go down so low,
right?
And they won't go no lower,
right?
And now, if anybody's going to go lower, beware, because that's just like you going to a baker and saying you're trying to talk him down on baking your wedding cake. He'll agree with you, but you're not gonna you're gonna cut down on the good ingredients.
Right, right.
You know, so you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
But that with the cocaine is more regulated. And what I found out at one point, because this came out of one of their mouths, we can't continue to let cheap cocaine come into the United States. It's too cheap.
Yeah.
So where the would you hear that from?
Where would you hear that from?
What I found out when I got with Sinaloa, that it was a different ball game. It was a totally different ball game.
Okay, so let's talk about how Chief made that switch and brought you over from Juarez to Sinaloa. What year is that? I know you're bad with years. How long had you been working with Juarez and this?
I had been working with Juarez, let's say, for like a year and a half ish.
Okay, so you at this point you had moved thousands and thousands of keys for him.
I liked working with Juarez better than Sinaloa and Tijuana.
Okay,
working with Juarez was like calling in airstrikes, literally. Whatever I want, I got.
Wow. So there was never a hold up,
never a hold
never
up,
a load that got
whatever
intercepted.
I want, but never a problem. I told him when to come get the money. If I wanted to take a break, I told him hold on a minute. When it got to Sinaloa's, it was different.
So but you ended up with Sinaloa because Chief, as you call him.
I ended up with Sinaloa because the was starting.
Right.
The was starting.
This was the war that
Chapo
was about to
get ready to start.
Juarez.
And
just for context, just historical context for the viewer, Sinaloa, Chapo specifically, wanted to take over Juarez. They want and they would start attacking the city and cause one of the craziest mafia cartel wars in Mexican history.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to do that in Tijuana too. Wild. They tried to make war on two fronts.
And the crazy thing about it, the war that started in Tijuana was because of the Chief. And nobody knows this.
Really?
Yeah. Danny called me when it was going on and said they released, and I guess it was a major publication over there in Mexico, released the publication saying, with the Chief's picture on the front page saying that he started the war. I was at the meeting over there when they decided to go full out war. I was there.
What was it about? Why did they decide to go to war?
I mean, you want to go there directly there or?
Yeah, I mean.
Well, just a quick backstory. The Chief, I went to see the Chief one time. We went out to eat and he just kept staring at me. He had a stare that he would do. Like he was looking through your soul, literally. And we're eating, putting the limes on the live oysters and all this. I don't eat, but I mean, you're in Rome, do what the Romans do. So I'm chucking these damn things and he just keeps staring at me. And then he breaks out and say, "You are much more important than you think you are." It comes through translation. So I'm like, okay. Everybody's looking at me now. You are much, much more important than you think you are. While he's staring at me, I says, okay, but I'm thinking I'm feeling awkward here. Promise me. You promise me right now. Right now. He starts to bang on the table. You will never throw me under the bridge. Promise me now. Promise me. I mean, like I had no choice. I will not throw you in. No. Promise me. Promise me right now. And he's hitting the table hard with his damn finger. You would not throw me under the bridge. Tell me. They translate. And I had to look him directly in his eyes and say, Chief, I would never throw you under the bridge. And he just stared at me, shook his head. He gave a light smile and started eating again. At this time, me and Ballhead didn't get kind of cool because they didn't get me to cut Danny off. Because Danny tried to pull me from the chief because he got paid by Juarez, but to bring me over to Juarez. And they gave him a position in Juarez. Okay, so.
Sounds like these brokers cause a lot of problems.
Yeah. Yeah, they used the contract to level up.
Yeah.
And he had a big contract. He had somebody that could move a lot of work.
Yeah.
So, but we don't know. We're moving the work. They get leverage from us.
Yeah.
Because he has a good relationship with us. We'll see a Mexican come around. We're dealing with, let's say, somebody we're dealing with, and they'll come out. They act like they're real friendly with you around other Mexicans. You think he's just being cool. No. What he's doing, he's pretending like he has a special relationship with you, and he can be the mediator or the middleman for you. And next thing you know, he's the one that's dealing with them when you had the direct connection.
Right.
Because they don't speak the language. Right. So if he seems like he's y'all best buddies, he gets to make money off of you. And you don't know it.
Wow.
So anyway, Danny starts to send me work. 150, 200 keys. How the f*** you send me this, Danny? But Danny starts to call me and talk to me different. When you call and they talking to you different because they got somebody listening. Most likely somebody of power because they're trying to show them that they have influence over you or you listen to them. And 1 week I had work that came from Chief and had work that came from Danny.
400?
Danny only sent me 125. The Chief sent me 200. So like maybe 325 or something like that. But Danny don't have access to do this.
A lot of coke, buddy.
Yeah. But this was moving. This was fucking moving.
325,000
They started sending more than that. They were sending more than that, man. It got crazy. It got real crazy. But let me, so what I did, I pulled some. You have to pay Chief all the money. Remember, I told you that. Hey, Danny, something happened, my friend. I may need to owe you 200,000. Oh, don't worry about it, my friend. It's okay. Okay, Chief don't know nothing about this. Who the fuck are you working with?
Danny switched.
And he's about to him. I'm like, damn. But Danny's talking to me more aggressive now and like he's a jefe.
Right.
And man, you supposed to be partners. Where did it come from? I've been honest with you about everything but you, you know? So anyway, one time he called me and he's talking to me real aggressive, but in a tone I know it's somebody else listening. And I find out it's one of the Carello brothers he was sitting with while he was talking to me.
Okay, who are the Carello brothers?
The Carello brothers, that's who the Juarez Cartel belongs to.
Right, okay, so Chief is actually just a high-up boss within the Carello's organization.
This is what they told me through Danny.
Okay.
Because one of the brothers was sitting there with Danny.
Okay.
And I forgot what I said to them because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Because I told Danny, that's how I knew somebody else was there with Danny. I told Danny, I'm like, well, the Chief just sent me. Danny he didn't let go of the button. And I heard him saying it to somebody and they respond to him. And I found out later that's one of the Carello. Oh, don't worry. That's cool because that's their cousin. Chief is their cousin, so don't worry. Now, exactly what position, but he had a position of power. But what Chief did was what Danny did. Chief saying, I got enough power now to level up and go to Sinaloa. And that's what he did. So that was the whole statement of, don't throw me under the bridge.
Meaning what?
I'm going to go to Sinaloa. I found out I'm going to go to Sinaloa. I'm about to cut a deal.
Right.
Because Sinaloa tried to cut him out. And if they cut him out, they're going to kill him and keep me directly.
Yeah. I see. So it turns out that Chief was actually kind of just a broker himself.
Chief was a with a lot of power. And I think a lot of the power he had is, I don't know what he was with the police force, because he was actually still a police officer when he was giving me work.
Yep.
So he had a lot of power in the government. And then when we got took down, he was actually paying a lot of the governors over there.
Right. That's the best position to be in as a drug dealer in Mexico, is with the military.
Yeah.
Or the cops.
So he had a lot of influence, and
Okay,
I think that's a lot of the influence that the Juarez Cartel was through him.
Right.
So he had a spot like maybe right up under the brothers, or just maybe as influential as them, because of the political power that he brought with law enforcement.
Okay, so then why would he switch and go over to Sinaloa?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
I can only tell you what I think. Well, I can't tell you the answer to that, because he told me what he wanted to do, because he eventually ended up fighting Chapo.
Okay, so but why did he switch? First, why did he go to Sinaloa? If everything's going great, he controls Juarez.
He wanted to start his own cartel, and he wanted to wipe the Juarez Cartel out, and which he did do. And he started he was part of starting that new Jalisco or whatever cartel they got in Juarez now.
Jalisco New Generation?
Yeah.
But that's Mencho's cartel.
He was part of what started that.
Wow.
Now, he got took down, but
well, look, the Meyer is not as important as your relationship to all this, but it's pretty crazy that you're a fly on the wall of all of this Mexican cartel politics when you're just a coke dealer at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when he said, "Don't throw me under the bridge," he was saying, basically come with me. When I make this move, stay loyal to me and keep moving my product.
Because they're going to cut into you, which they did, to undercut me.